So today we're going to take a look at lesson 6.6. So take a look at the problem of the day, pause the video and solve it. Now, we skip out of order. If you remember, we just did lessons 6.1 and 6.2. We jumped to 6.6 because I feel like it fits a little bit better where we actually solve radical equations. So you've solved problems where you had exponents, like if you had a fifth power, you took the fifth root. And now we're doing the opposite. So here are the steps to solving radical equations. We'll start with some basic ones. So I've written up here to solve. Number one, isolate the radical. The radical or root can only be the one thing that's on that side. Any other number has to be taken care of first. Two, raise both sides of the equation to the reciprocal power. Three, solve by following PEMDAS backwards. So let's take a look at example one. And we'll go through the steps again. So one, isolate the radical. Do you see how on the left-hand side, we already have just the radical with what's inside it? Square root of 5x minus 9 equals 11. This is already isolated. So step one has been done for us already. Now, what's the opposite of a square root? Hopefully you remember it's a square. And if you remember, and you don't have to write this down, but what we've done before, making up a random problem, we would have something like this where we would divide and then we would take what, the fourth root? How this lesson looks different, and it's the opposite of it, is now we have the root and we're going to raise it to that power. So that means whatever I do to the left, I got to do to the right. Square that side as well. And we're going to solve algebraically. Just erase this here. When I square it, square root and square go away. I have 5x minus 9 equals 121. Now just so you know, you don't have to worry about a plus minus. It's only when you take a square root. We are squaring it, so there's only going to be one solution for this one in particular. We add 9 to both sides to get 5x equals 121 plus 9 is 130. Then we're going to divide both sides by 5. We get x equals 26. And that's our final answer. All right, so let's take a look at the next problem here. And I made sure to bring up the instructions for you again. You might want to, I'll probably at least start one or two with you, and you might want to do some yourself too. So let's look at example 2. So step 1, isolate the radical. If I look at A, do you see how there's a 2 in front of it? The radical is not isolated to just one side. So before I could take care of the radical or the root, I have to divide by 2 and get rid of that first. So then we get cube root of x minus 3. Well, 3 there for the cube root. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And now we took care of step 1, which is isolate the radical. Step 2, raise both sides of the equation to the reciprocal power. So what's the opposite of a cube root? It's the cube power to the third. You guys can see my 3 there. Raise this side to the third as well. I get x minus 3. The cube root and the cube cancel out. 2 to the third power is 8. Then I add 3 to both sides. X equals 11. That's my answer. All right, let's look at letter B. Isolate the radical, step 1. I don't just have the radical root here, right? What do you notice? There's a negative 9 there. So you're going to add 9 to both sides. If I show this one, negative 1 plus 9. So I get the cube root of x equals 8. Now my radical is isolated to the left-hand side. Step 2, raise both sides of the equation to the reciprocal power. All right, cube root means I raise it to the third power. And I'm going to get x equals 512. And that's my answer. All right. Now C looks slightly different, right? Because if you notice C, there's 0 on the right, and do you see how both radicals are on the left? What we can do, we don't want a radical like both of them on this side right now. We are able to move the negative radical over to the right. The negative now in front becomes a positive. So let's rewrite that first. So we keep 3x plus 2, the square root of it, on the left. And then the negative comes over as positive. It's just square root of 2x plus 5. Let's extend the little root so we know that's all underneath the root here. Now, we have a root on each side, and that's okay. We isolate the radical, right? Both radicals are on the left. There's one on each side, so that's okay. Opposite of a square is a square root, right? So we're going to square both sides. And what you're going to see what happens is, doesn't the radical disappear for both of them? Square root, square, cancel out, square root, square. So now what you have is 3x plus 2 equal to 2x plus 5. Now we have a two-step or multi-step equation that we're going to solve. I'm going to bring all the x's to the left, so I get 3x minus 2x. Keep the 5 there, bring over the 2 as negative 2. 3x minus 2x is x. 5 minus 2 is 3. X equals 3. That's my final answer. Now remember, if at any point you want to check your work, you know you could take each answer and plug it back into the original to make sure it works. All right, that's it for today's lesson. Take a look at the homework. Make sure you do the problem of the day. We'll discuss it in class tomorrow. And I'm going to have you do 3 problems from assignment 5.